Hey everybody. Holy Toledo, do we have a treat for projects today? I have 5 projects that you can use all of your recycled, upcycled stuff. So if you have cans or jars or yogurt containers, so many fun things we can do. Like I said, there are 5 of them. You got to watch to the end because hello, the best one I always do at the end. So anyways, oh, and hey, I'm Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy if you didn't know. And if you did, thanks so much for coming back. All right, let's get to these projects. All right, so I started with this jute rope from Dollar Tree, and I have a child who is in a yogurt phase. So let's just say I have a ton of these containers, and I feel so bad throwing them out. So let's do something cute with them. All right, so I prepped it, and now we're going to put a little dollop of glue at one side, and I'm going to hold one of the jute ropes on there, and then I'm going to put, I don't know how long this loop is, but we're making a handle. So make the handle as long as you want it. And then glue the other side. And then I cut the excess. Ta-da! Now I probably used 1.5 things of jute rope. You might use less depending on how big you make your handle. Then I make a swirl with the jute rope, and then I'm going to put a little dollop of glue on the very bottom of the cup. Now, I'm sure there's other ways you can do this. This is just the way I thought it would work best for me. And then I put that little swirl on that dollop of glue, and then I hold it there because hot glue is hot and it takes time for it to set. So just let it set. And then we're just going to put glue down and then wrap it and go all the way up the cup. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, though, be mindful. Hot glue is hot. And if you try, like you'll see part of this. See how when I put this around and then I try to, I put my hand in it to kind of, like make sure that the jute rope sticks to the cup. It's hot and it's uncomfortable. So just be aware of that. Just, try to maybe even use a silicone finger protector or something for that. And then I'm just putting, this is like easy peasy, right? We're just putting glue, then jute down. And I'm going right over those pieces that we have for the handle. I'm going right over the top of those. Again, there's probably some other cool way to do this, but I just thought I just wanted something easy and fun. And this way, I like using this little cup because then you could actually put little candies in it if you wanted, or something that you could use that is food safe so that you don't have to worry and it's not going to spill out. Look how fun. All right, so if you come to the end of your jute rope, I'm just splicing in a new piece. And that's what I'm doing here. And then for me, now you could leave this edge free and that would be fine. But I wanted it to look a little bit more finished. So I did the top with a layer of the jute rope on the lip of the yogurt container. And we go all the way around doing that. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Like this was so easy. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know about you, but I love baskets that have they're a little heavy. And this one it's really a hefty, it feels substantial. And then when you get to the end, you just glue it. That's the nice thing about jute is that you can kind of not see the ends. Look at how cute this is, friends. And look, like I said, you could put cute little candy in it, or you could put little carrot decorations in it. So we start with this Dollar Tree macrame yarn, and I have a pickle jar. And no, I'm not taking the tag off of it. It's fine. So then I take my macrame yarn and I kind of wind it into a little coil, put a little glue on the bottom of the jar, and then I put my little coil on top of that little dot of glue. And then all we're going to do is glue and wrap the entirety of the jar. I like to press down to make sure that the macrame yarn is really adhered to the jar and it's really close together. But you do it however you'd like. But you'll see here again, I'm just gluing and then wrapping. You see me pressing down just to make sure that you can't see the jar underneath. And here we go. I would encourage you to try not to use a ton of glue because when it seeps through, you can see it on the outside and it's not as nice. And here we go. More of the jar, and I go all the way to the very top. I cover those threads and everything. So there it is. I cut the excess off, and then I just put a little dot of glue on the side, and then just press down
And there it is. Look at how cute. Now you could leave it like that, but you know I can't. So I take some strips that are about 3 inches long. I did 5 strips. You do as many as you'd like. We're going to make a pretty little flower. So as many petals as you want, you would cut that many of the little strips. So I put a little glue on, and we're just going to make little loops with each of our little strips. So there's one, and we're going to do that with all of them. All 5, we're going to make little strip loops. Ta-da! Now you could do this any other way. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but So then I put a little dot of glue on it, and then I add it to my jar. And I'm not adhering the loop part. I'm letting that be a free, but the center I am. So, and you just configure it however you want. As I was doing this, I was like, look at it. It almost looks like that SpongeBob flower thing, which I really love. But I was like, nope, I had an idea, so I have to follow through. So what I'm doing here is just coiling some more of the macrame yarn, and we're going to make this circle as big as we want the center part of our flower. You could go as small as you want. You could go as big as you want. I wanted a little bit bigger just because I was looking for it to, I don't know, look like a daisy, I guess. It doesn't, but that's okay. That's okay. But I add some glue to the center of our flower, and then I add our little coiled circle into the center of that. Super cute. I'll be honest, I kind of liked it before I put that center thing in, but it's fine. Then I take some more glue and put it right at the where the circle meets the jar, and I put some glue there, and then I added another piece of macrame yarn, and all I'm going to do is going to make it look like a stem. So we're just going to glue the macrame on like that. Ta-da, look at how cute. Now, you could have done other things. I could have done swirls. I could have done more of them, but I wanted it to just be really simple. So there it is. How cute is that, right? I know. And I put my stuff from my office stuff. So I have my pens and my scissors. I love it. I think it's super fun.
All right, so we have these napkins. I got them at Joann Fabrics. You're going to get it down to 1 ply. Then I have this jar. I love the lid, by the way. But anyways, I'm going to cut down the napkin down, and then we're going to put some dishwasher safe Mod Podge onto our jar, and then we're going to add our napkin. Now, on that napkin, I am going to put little cuts all the way around the top and the bottom. The bottom is a little long, and I'm going to recut those after. But anyways, so then we're going to add more dishwasher safe Mod Podge on top. And you see I'm using my brush. I'm kind of making so that it goes into those threads of the jar. That way it kind of hugs the jar. That's why we added those little slits. So all I'm doing here is putting more dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Then we're going to smooth out our napkin. And then again, we're going to just dab, dab, dab around the edge of those threads so that the napkin adheres. And we're going to do the same thing around the bottom too. I tend to go and do it as I go. I don't put Mod Podge on the entirety of the jar just because I tend to make a big fat mess with it. But if you can do it, do it. To the glory of God, you do it. I make a mess every time. And I never cut my napkin right. I'm always having to trim it again, like I'm doing here. That's okay. All that to say is it's okay if you have to. We all have to pivot, right? So here we are at the end of the, I've gotten it all on the jar, and I'm just smoothing it out, and I'm making sure to put another layer of my dishwasher safe Mod. I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge only because if I want the ability to use this as like a vase for flowers, my children they're so sweet. They always pick cute little flowers from our yard, and I always am struggling to find a vase for it. So that's why I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And you'll see here how I'm doing the bottom. I'm not being super careful with it being perfect because, as you know, I like the vintage distressed kind of vibe. If you're more like, oh, I want it to look way more put together, then trim the ends before you do this part of doing the Mod Podge and then putting it on the bottom. Just an opinion, but I think it looks fine. I'm not mad. I think it looks good, and I'm using the same thing because there's a little bit of a change in elevation on the bottom. I'm also using my brush like I did around the edges, but look at how cute, right? Again, I let it dry just a little bit, and then I go and I add another layer of dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Now, there are wrinkles in this, yes, and I think it adds to the cuteness of it, but just be really careful if you don't like the wrinkles when you apply it. Then I added some jute on the top, just wrapped jute, and quit it. Quit it right now. Look at how cute.
And then I added some fairy lights. I got these fairy lights on Amazon. They were so cheap. I love them, and quit it. Look at how pretty that is. I mean, this is how I'll use it all the time until my children bring me flowers, and then I'll put flowers in it. But this is without the light. This is with a light. Holy Toledo, right? Look at it at night. Oh, we could even put this on a picnic table, I dare say. I mean, stop, right? Whew, I love it. All right, I know. I get so excited.
Friends, I don't know how many of these stupid OxyClean containers I have, but I have to do something with them. So join me for what I'm making. So the first thing I did was take some paint stirrers, cut them down, painted them white, and then distressed. Then I took some of these puffy round stickers from the Dollar Tree and I just put some paint on them. And then I glued each, like one for each of these little sticks. So I have 2 of those sticks. Perfect. Then I take the OxyClean container and I glue on the jute rope. And I think it's like 3 packages from the Dollar Tree is what I used. And so just go all the way around. Just keep going around and around, gluing as you go. And I wasn't worried about when I ran out of one, just add it to the next one. It's fine. And then this is the end part. And I just went right to the end of this. Easy peasy. Perfect. And this is the end. And then I just made sure to glue and make sure that that end part was really down. Next, I took a skewer and cut it down, and I had these little wood beads. And look at, oh my God. Now, if you know what I'm making like a little cart. And look at this, is going to be the wheel, and that looks like the little peg thing. And I can't even, it's so cute. I have these spools that I had from ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I just paint them all black. I'm using a chalk paint for that. Then I put a little bit of glue inside the hole for that bead, and I put that piece of skewer inside. So there's that. How exciting, right? And then I put some glue on that, and then I glue it to the center of the spool. Look it, we've got a wheel. Yay! And of course, I have to distress it because, hello, that's what I do. And then I glue it to my container. There's that. And I do one for each side. Then I take the handles and I glue one on each side here. And then once that was all dry, I take a piece of homespun, but you don't have to use homespun. You can use any cool fabric you wanted. And I just fan it out. I think this is probably 1.5 inches to 2 inches wide for the fabric. And then I put a dot of glue on my, container. And I'm just crisscrossing these 2. I know it sounds crazy, but watch and see. It'll make sense in a minute. So I glue a little bit on that side and cross those. And then I take some jute and I go in between. So there's a little space where there's no glue. I put the jute in through there and then I just tied in a double knot. I left the jute a little bit long, so just because I think it looks pretty. You don't have to do that, but there's that. Then I make a messy bow, and there's that little space that's open, and I glue the messy bow on top of that. I love this messy bow. I just can't get enough. But there's that. And then I just roll it around, and look it, put some flowers in it, and ta-da!
All right, so I have this bunny from Dollar Tree. It's just a wood cutout. I'm going to start by painting it. I'm using Waverly paint. The color is moss. Paint the whole thing, the front, the back, the sides, all of it. It's not a wicked thick coat, but look how pretty that is too. I love that sagey green. There it is. It's all dry. Next, we're going to take some school glue, doesn't matter what brand, and we're going to add it to the front of the bunny first. So I'm just adding it. Do as thick or as thin as you want. Basically, we're going to be doing the Crackle method, friends, and the thicker you do it, the thicker your cracks are going to be. I take a brush and I just kind of even out all of our glue, and then we're going to dry that. You can do it wet, but I prefer to dry it. Then we did both sides, so there it is, glue was on both sides. Now I'm going to take some more Waverly chalk paint, the color is cashew, and I'm going to cover the front of our bunny. And I also did the sides. I did them a little bit. I didn't really do full coverage on the sides because I wanted to look, have like a distressed look. But then we're going to add some heat. And are you kidding me? Look at that crackle. Oh, I love it. Like every time. It doesn't matter how many times I do the Crackle method. It makes me so happy every single time. Now, if you don't like the distressed vibe, obviously you're not going to be super happy with this. So don't do it. But for those of you who do, yeah. So I did both sides, by the way, to do that. The next thing is I have a can. It's probably from mushrooms, I think, and I used a smooth can opener to take the top off. I put 2 coats of that same cashew chalk paint on it, and then we're going to use this cute little napkin. I think I got this napkin from Inspired Creations, Paula. Inspired Creations, she gave it to me, and I love it. So we're going to cut it down to the size of the width of our can, and then get our napkin to 1 ply. I'm going to add some Mod Podge to our can, and then we're going to apply our napkin. Now, I do little sections. I don't do the whole can at once just because it gets a little crazy for me, and I wind up getting the napkin, folded and stuck to stuff. But if it works for you to do the whole can with Mod Podge first and then apply the napkin, go for it. I just know who I am. And it's challenging. So anyway, so I add the Mod Podge. We put on the napkin. Super pretty. I love these napkins. They are so cute. You're going to smooth out your napkin. Then I'm going to add some more Mod Podge to smooth everything out. I also like to get into those little bumps of the can. Then I'm going to let it dry a bit, and then we're going to sand off the excess. And there it is. How cute, right? Well, no, we're not going to stop there, friends. We're going to then measure our can to our bunny and figure out just about how tall that can is and mark where we're going to put some holes. I use my Fisker drill, and we pop some holes in the bunny, and we're going to pop 2 holes to match in the can. And I'm using my crocodile to put holes in that can. Then I had some jeans, old jeans, and I just cut a little strip because I thought it would look really pretty to put this as a border on the top of the can. But if you had, you could use ribbon even, but I just thought, with the distressed vibe going and with the, the fraying, I thought it looked really cool. So I just glued that on the top of that, and then I added some more glue on the inside and then just folded the jeans in. And there we go. See? Ta-da! Super cute, right? So then I'm going to take some jute. It's a little bit on the thicker side of jute. I have some masking tape on the end of my jute, so that way it makes it so that I can get it through that hole. We're going to put it through the bunny, the hole on the bunny that we did, and then we're going to put it through the can, and then we're going to lace it back through the can, and then we're going to put that jute into the other hole that we have for the bunny. Super cute, right? Come on. Now, could you do a zip tie? Of course you could. But I thought that this jute would look really pretty. Now, the other side, you might have to use a needle or something to get the jute through, but it gets there. It's fine. And then we're going to pull the jute nice and taut so that it all connects. And then we're just going to tie a bow on the other side. And friends, now we have this super cool. Now, listen, I would decorate with bunnies all year long, but springtime's coming. So if you want to do springy stuff, but now we have this cute little container that we can add flowers to, like I'm doing here. And this is just a bundle I had gotten on clearance. Super cute, right? Stop it. Adorable. Or you could use it for pencils, or you could use it on your table for utensils or plastic ware or whatever. I don't know. But are you kidding me? Look at how cute that is. I love it. Whew. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you.